Dwight, and it looks as if United, the feel-good factor's back for Manchester United.
Yeah, pretty much. That doesn't come as a surprise to me. Having seen them up close hand, see how they operate, see under Jose for the first time, just looking at the players' body languages and stuff, it just seems they seem like they got a spring back in their steps. So doesn't come as a surprise at all.
Dwight, goals was their problem last year. I mean, defensively they was much more solid, but going forward they didn't have that flair, they didn't have the goals in the team. But now look at the options: Martial, Rashford, Ibrahimovic. If they buy Pogba, Rooney, they've got so many options, haven't they?
Well, that's the thing about United. The United in the past have always had tons of options, and one of the strengths of United when players haven't been able to perform, the players that are coming in has been able to sort of taken over from that, and that's something that's been missing in their play. Not enough quality. They got enough players, but not enough quality, in my opinion, to come in and sort of, where they left off, picked up from, and that's something that seems to have struggled in the past couple of seasons. But this year, when you look at the squad and the names that you have mentioned now, that they look like they're back to the best, and no, it doesn't come as a surprise because United need to, 3 years not winning the Premier League. It's a long time in our eyes.
Dwight, do you think the title's going to Manchester out of the City of United this year?
You know what? For the first time in the Premier League, from top to bottom, it's very difficult to call. And you're seeing that, Pep is coming in with a big reputation, what he has done and accomplished as a manager as well. There's no doubt that he's looking to strengthen. He's obviously looking at this young kid again called Leroy, and they're looking at, obviously, John Stone adding to their squad. So it doesn't come as a surprise. As I said, this is for the first time in the Premier League history that you'll find it very difficult to call who's going to win from top to bottom. And you look at Chelsea, they're strengthening as well under the new management there at Conte. So it's very difficult to call from, as I said, from top to bottom.
Dwight, you played with some great players, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs in midfield, Roy Keane. Mm-hmm. Now, Pogba, is he overpriced at 100 million? What do you make of all the transfer market at this present day?
Somehow I knew you were going to ask that question. But, it's the Premier League. It's become such a global spectacle around the world. Everyone wants a piece of the Premier League. Obviously, the influx of foreigners, the revenue that is generated, the money that is team having to spend for themselves now. It's enormous. It's the modern-day game, I'm afraid, and that's just where it is. If you asking me the question, as you said, about Pogba, is he better than Gareth Bale? Is he better than Ronaldo and Messi? No, he's not. Is he a Paul Scholes in midfield that is going to dominate games and get you, 18, 19 goals a season? No, he's not that type. But he's more of the you play with him, Patrick Vieira kind of mold. He's got that presence in midfield. He can get forward. He's got something, obviously, to be paying that 100 million. But whatever it is, I'm sure that he will be a great acquisition to the squad. Yeah,
Dwight, we're going to talk to Ipswich manager, Big Mick McCarthy, in a few moments. Rave quite fancies Norwich. I think Newcastle are a shoe-in to come back. And, of course, that means we've not mentioned the Villa. What do you make of what's happening now at the Villa?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, we know that the chairman was looking to sell the club. He's managed to do that to a Chinese consortium, and that seems to change things around. Obviously, Matteo has come in, who I know reasonably well. My biggest concern about Villa there right now is the mentality within the football club. That's the reason why they are in the position that they are. And if they don't have the mentality of getting promotion straight away, then they will be struggling. Again, I hope that Di Matteo has gone in there and says, right, we need to get promoted. This is how we go about it, because in the Championship, which I've played there, teams will be coming to Villa thinking, wow, this is an amazing stadium. But if you don't have a team to back that up, they'll get turned over each time, and that seems to be a problem there.
Yeah, and just looking at Sam Allardyce, England manager now, he's done a wonderful job at Sunderland to keep him up. Now, Davy Moyes is in their hot seat now. Do you think he'll do really well at Sunderland?
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of opportunities. Obviously, his trip to Valencia, to Sociedad, that didn't quite work out well, and he's looking for a way back. And obviously, he's a big-time manager, and he's got an opportunity to do that. Sunderland is a great place. Played there towards my end of my career. Had a fantastic time in the Northeast. They're passionate about their thing. The fact that they accomplished staying up in the Premier League this season, but too often enough they've been in that situation and somehow seems to get lucky at the right time and get good results all the time. But they need to make sure that they don't get themselves in that position. It'd be a challenge for Moyes. I'm sure that he will go in there with his ideas, with his experience, and try to mold them, because they're a tremendous team. They got obviously Newcastle in the Championship this season, so they would be the number one team up in the Northeast, with obviously Middlesbrough coming along. But I think Moyes will do well. I think that Sunderland will have had the experience of hovering over the relegation battle for the last couple of seasons. I'm sure this season they will want to try and avoid that.
I read today Davey might be trying to bring in someone like Januzaj. I thought he was a good player, Dwight. You surprised Jose's letting him go?
Yeah, it's amazing. And I said I've been very fortunate as an ambassador for the club to be around these players and see the reaction and be able to get a feedback from a personal point of view. I think he's very talented. I think he's talking to one or two people within the squad and who's seen him on an everyday basis. There's no question about his ability. His attitude is something that is come into question. Rumours has it that he needs to probably, get away from either his agent or his dad and sort of settle down and start focusing on his football a little bit. And if he can do that, because he's one of the players I always thought that he has a chance. But if he doesn't seem to rely on just his ability and don't have the right attitude to go forward and work hard and bet himself down, then he will be one of the players likely to leave United. But it'll be a shame, because we know that he's a very talented boy and someone that I really like as well.
Brilliant, Dwight. Well, I think it needs someone like your good self to talk to him. I think that's spot on what you're saying. Either get away from his old man, his agent, because quite clearly the boy's got great talent. And it's a waste. And before you know it, Dwight, you're getting older and you're missing out. So it's no good for anyone, is it?
Yeah, well, we've all been there. So sure, me and Ray has been in that position.
Well, I'm just looking at Ray. Ray was slumming at a Wealdstone last night, and he's walking about like a 90-year-old this morning.
Pardon?
It goes very quickly. We all know that. And the quicker these youngsters understand that, and that's why you need the ex-pros around them to tell them, listen, you need to bottle down, because, we all been in that position, and if it just goes so fast, so you're kind of missing out while you can.
Yeah. Dwight, talk later. Thank you.
Dwight.
Pleasure, guys.
Brilliant. Dwight Yorke there.